You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 159.5. Will Rutherford reacts to the NFL Conference Championship game.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Well, we have a Super Bowl. It is the Kansas City Chiefs once again, the Philadelphia Eagles. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the conference championship games. Let's start with the AFC. We expected a classic. We got a classic.
Yeah, we did. I mean, it was a great game. Not the way I really wanted it to go. Not really the way I think anybody outside of Kansas City, Missouri, really wanted it to go. But it's, they just proved to be able to outlast teams. They're 12-0 this year in one-score games. So, I mean, they prove it time and time again. This is how they win.
And before the season, I said I thought that a three-peat was inevitable because the Kansas City Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and they were both spectacular today. That final drive, Andy Reid just outthought the Buffalo Bills. And Patrick Mahomes, when it came to it, was amazing.
Yeah, I think this one's more on the ineptitude of Joe Brady as an offensive coordinator, in my opinion. I think the Bills lost this game. I don't necessarily believe the Chiefs won it. I think the Bills' play calling in the red zone and in critical situations was just pitiful. Just absolutely pitiful. Josh Allen's the unluckiest quarterback in the league. I mean, he put that ball right where Kincaid could come back to get it on fourth down, gave him a play that really had no business even having a chance, gave Kincaid more than a chance, and he just literally goes right through the wickets. I mean, you just can't make it up. I don't know what this guy has to do more to win a football game than what he does. It just their play call. I said it 10 times tonight. Just God, Joe Brady is doing everything he can to try to lose this game. And he did it.
So the Chiefs are in their sixth Super Bowl in 7 years, and you're still not going to credit them with getting to a Super Bowl. It's all the Bills' fault.
The Bills absolutely should have won this game. Absolutely should have won this game. I think the Bills outplayed the Chiefs. I just think just inept play calling.
You said this all year. Did it matter?
What?
You said this all year. The Chiefs are being outplayed. The Chiefs are being outplayed. The Chiefs are being outplayed.
I mean,
Did it matter?
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. It just
2 hours.
I don't get it. It's a strange. Just they win. They just win. They're inevitable. They win. They do just enough to win. But I don't know how you can watch that game. I watched that game and just was just baffled of how hard Joe Brady made it for that offense to score.
All right. But again, Patrick Mahomes was amazing. He made every right throw, every right play. Andy Reid made every right call. And This is what we've been talking about since we started doing this in August.
No, they offensively called a great game. They had Buffalo on their heels the entire game. They used their playmakers when they needed to at the right time. They gave Worthy the ball in space, let him work. They ran rub routes to get Worthy open. They kind of used Kelsey as a decoy most of the night, and it really worked to their benefit. Kareem Hunt was efficient. Pacheco was obviously, that last drive. I mean, he made the first down for them to win, but it was just a by committee effort for Kansas City tonight. It was just a really good, cohesive team game plan.
And that final drive, I kept saying what I say every week to coaches: be conservative but creative. Keep the ball on the ground, let the clock run, but do plays that you have a chance to bust a first down. And they did it twice there on the final drive and clinch the game. If they give the ball back to Josh Allen, I have a feeling they lose the game.
Well, and I completely agree. It was they dialed it up, and Andy Reid called a great game. I don't want to take away from the fact that the Chiefs did offensively, and Mahomes and Reid didn't perform exactly as they always do. I'm just still left speechless of just how dumb some of the. I don't know how many times you're going to run the tush push version that the Bills run. It just doesn't work. I mean, it's just like, you want to see me do it again. You want to see me
get
do
Josh
it again.
Allen out in space, and
I just don't get it. Let him run. He's much better. He's a much more efficient quarterback, and a quarterback power, quarterback draw kind of situation. Putting him under center, it's just he's not able to be explosive and be strong. I don't know.
The run pass option should work every time with him. From 2 yards out.
To me, the Bills are going to go back to Orchard Park. They're going to watch the film, and they're going to just be – Joe Brady's going to look and say, I did everything wrong. It shows the difference between a great offensive coordinator, a genius offensive coordinator, and just a run-of-the-mill one.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and this is the reason the Chiefs win, because other teams are dumb, and they're not.
I mean, I don't know how you can run a 2-point conversion. I mean, obviously they put it in Josh Allen's hands on the first one. It got stuffed, but I don't know why you don't put him there in quarterback power. Why do you put him under center? It's just they took all of the fun away from Josh Allen tonight. He wasn't able to beat Josh Allen. And James Cook was good. James Cook was really good. When they got him the ball in space, he made big plays. But it was just the difference between a generational play caller and a run of the mill average play caller. That was the difference tonight.
Last thing on this game, and a question I'm going to ask you for 5 questions, for your 5 questions segment every week is, assuming Kansas City does what we think they're going to do in 2 weeks, where does this put Mahomes and Reed in a historical perspective? All right, let's talk about the Eagles. Speaking of historic, 55-23.
Yeah.
What a performance. The Eagles won the NFC for the exact reason I thought they would, and it's they just have better players than everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, we said this on Wednesday. We expected this. It didn't help. I think Washington kind of, 4 turnovers, and Philadelphia just took advantage of them. I mean, they just got the ball so much more because they took it away from Washington. Washington met its match. It just they didn't belong in that game. They just weren't ready to be in that game, in that situation as a team, and it showed.
Absolutely. And Eagles fans have been complaining about Jalen Hurts all season, and as a Colts fan, I'll take him.
He was good.
He's just efficient, isn't he?
He was good. He was, he plays quarterback to the he and Mahomes are a lot alike, and that they play the game on a week by week basis based on how the team needs him to play.
Yeah.
And today they needed Jalen Hurts to make throws down the field, to be efficient in the passing game, to use his legs when he needed to. But for the most part, they needed him to just kind of stay out of trouble and not be the reason they lose. And he did that. And I think you got to be really confident if you're an Eagles fan going into this game. I really do. I think the Eagles, they put a stamp that they are a legitimate team today. I mean, even though Washington had 4 turnovers and a turnover on downs, I mean, the Eagles just, when they touched the ball, was magic. Every play was a score. Every play was a 10-yard gain. I don't know. I don't know how 2 weeks from now looks at this point, and we don't want to talk about it. But I think if the Eagles just played a really good game today.
They really did, and they look like a team that can definitely win in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
I still think it'll be the Chiefs, but they definitely look like a team that can. All right, last thing. Another question that I'm going to have for 5 questions is, you've been talking about all season how you expected the Eagles to implode. If they lose the Super Bowl, how bad will it implode going forward? Because I think there's a lot of potential for that.
They've been your dysfunctional family that somehow makes it work the whole year. They're constantly bickering at each other.
For 1 year.
Happy. What?
You can do that for 1 year.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how it goes, honestly, if they lose. I think the city of Philadelphia might burn down. So
If they win, it might too. By the way,
it I don't know how you can argue with Sirianni when he's taken the team to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. I don't really know how you can say that it's his problem.
no.
In this, I think this team is a reflection of their coach. I think he's kind of a dysfunctional person. It just seems like as a coach.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not going to speak on his personal life, but it's just kind of the things he does. That he's just kind of an asshole.
Guys like him, some of his guys don't. It's just
I mean, he rubs people the wrong way. He gets in people's faces. He's very confrontational with officials.
They have good players, man.
But they have really good players. And
Zach Bond, just such a good player. Cooper DeJean, such a good player. They are just loaded with, C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
Not to mention Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown and, Devontae Smith and Kenneth Gainwell, and I mean, you just go on, and that team is loaded with the defensive line is probably the best thing that they do. So
I mean, they're definitely. I mean, Kenyon Mitchell, we completely forgot about him there in that conversation.
So good.
They're really, really good. They're a very talented team, and you just hope that in 2 weeks isn't the day that they implode, because I feel like they're a ticking time bomb. Maybe they're just going to survive this year and it's going to get by just fine, but you just don't see dysfunction like this, and it plays out in the long run. That's just not very
often. Not very often.
How it works.
Not how it works. I will say that I don't think that Philly will be able to bully the Chiefs like they did Washington.
No, I don't think so either. But
so that'll be the difference between today and next Sunday is the Eagles just bullied Washington.
You know what though? Kansas City's offensive line is vulnerable. It is. The
defensive line is not.
No, the defensive line is not. No, offensively, they're not going. I don't think they're going to bully.
No, they're not.
They're not going to bully them offensively, but I think their defensive line has a chance to really be very similar to what the Bucs did in 2021 when Tom Brady won. I think this defensive line is a lot better than the Chiefs' offensive line, and the Chiefs' offensive line has been. They've done just enough to win, but they are not playing well as a unit.
All right. We got lots of time to talk about all that. We got 2 full weeks.
Yes, we do.
We will be together Monday, correct, to talk about 5 questions about professional sports.
Yep.
And we will have 5 questions. Just being up front, we're going to talk about this NFL, obviously, Pacers, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Chicago Blackhawks. So it's going to be your week.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Thanks so much to Will for staying up and talking some NFL. And thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, or follow us so you don't miss a single segment. And it would be very helpful to us if you would please tell a friend about the Central Indiana Sports Report. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And Susie.